make plays down the field, Denny. Number 12 overall pick, Jameson Williams, was drawing Tyreek Hill comparisons at Alabama last season. Then he tore his ACL. It didn't hurt his draft status, but he has not played this season, as evidenced by the fact that it's week 12. And he has just now been cleared to practice, but he has been cleared to practice. He has 21 days to get activated. Stands to reason a player who was just activated, who was just cleared to practice, will not be activated for Thanksgiving against the Bills.
Right.
But they have a really, really soft stretch run schedule. The Lions have not been getting any downfield production with DJ Shark and Josh Reynolds just in and out of the lineup. It is Jared Goff, but buys are ending. We know this is an offense that doesn't want to pass like 30 to 35 times a game. But are we adding Jameson Williams in 12-team leagues? Let's start there.
I think so. I have to say that I am having a hard time getting excited about Jameson Williams in this offense because for a few reasons. Is he an exciting player? Yes, of course. And I think that he has a bright future in the league. This team already has an established wide receiver one in Amon-Ra St. Brown. DJ Chark is coming back. And I know that might be funny, like, oh, DJ Chark, but he is the downfield guy. That's what
he was back in week 11 and was kind of a ghost.
Yeah. Right. And that's what it's going to be with DJ Chark. It's going to be nothing or a little something. You also have Jared Goff, who is not really known for his aggressiveness. No. Per Next Gen Stats, he's 28th in passing aggressiveness this year. The Lions are 21st in pass rate over expected. I'm looking at Goff. Yeah, Goff is 19th in the rate of attempts over 20 yards this season. So I really struggle to see like a path to confidently starting Williams in 12-team leagues. But I guess you do probably need to roster him.
You probably just need to roster them because here's the schedule beginning in week 13, throwing out week 12 against the Bills. It's versus the Jags, versus the Vikings, at the Jets, which is kind of a tough one during the fantasy playoffs, and then at the Panthers versus the Chicago Bears in fantasy championship week. And I know it's kind of hard to look that far ahead because you're nearing the stage of the season where you need to optimize your roster for every week instead of like fantasizing about week 17.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of player, one of my favorite kind of cliches to fall back on, like a cliche that I have created. He's the kind of player who can flip a matchup on only 2 or 3 targets. Like he give you a 0.0, but Jameson Williams is the kind of player who can have 2 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. And that can flip a matchup. If your choice is like Robert Woods or Jameson Williams,
Sure.
So he does have some upside. He might be the kind of guy you go out and take a flyer and you drop immediately, either because he might not return as soon as expected, or he's only going to play 10 to 12 snaps.
Right.
So you can have like some excitement. Yeah, you need to keep your expectations really low for Jameson Williams. But 14-team leagues for sure, 12-team leagues. I mean, yeah, you're probably adding him, but just you can dream, but also be realistic.
And they're going to have to ease him in and everything. Like he's not going to like come out and run 100% routes or anything. It'll be a process.
Yeah, Denny, I have German heritage. I think I'm channeling what German for dream, but be realistic. Do not dream.
It sounds very German.
The first way to be disappointed is to dream. The first way.
On to the next.
Speaking of dreaming, Denny, we've been dreaming about Treylon Burks all year. He comes off IR, immediately catches 7 of 8 targets for 111 yards. Yeah. Starting to look like that dude was that and dude being capitalized for the Tennessee Titans. Denny, 51 yards were on kind of like a game-sealing catch that was kind of unusual, a game situation.
I love that.
I know.
Love that. And I think the Packers were mad.
They were. I was extremely mad when the University of Tennessee did it to University of Missouri 2 weeks ago, by the way. You're winning 59-24. I mean, what you trying to do? You trying to embarrass these kids? Trying to embarrass these kids? I hope
that's different. Yeah. That's 59-24. Yeah.
Josh Heupel, all I can say is ball don't lie. Look what happened the following week. You're out of the playoffs.
But it's funny. I feel like it's pretty fun. It's pretty funny that Like the Titans were like, we're going to try to get a first down to seal this game. And the Packers were like, how dare you?
Yeah.
What do you do? What are you doing? You're trying to easily get a first down. You're supposed to grind it out with Derrick Henry 3 times up the middle. And if you don't get it, then you have to give us the ball back. That's how this is supposed to go.
The extremely formal world of NFL football.
And they just chucked it. They were like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to throw it straight to Treylon Burks. And I was obsessed with that play. Very good play.
Is he the ad of the week at receiver, or is it Darius Slayton? Is it someone else? Who's the ad of the week at receiver?
It's hard to distinguish because both of these offenses are not going to provide many fantasy-friendly environments for their receivers. You know, against the Packers last week was a little different. First of all, the Packers are a slight, pass funnel. The Titans leaned into that. I have a really hard time seeing that as like the new norm, but Burks, his route participation was fine. Although Nick Westbrook, Akine, and Robert Woods both ran 6 more routes than Burks, but Burks led the team in targets, led the team in yards. He clearly is the downfield guy. So I think just his profile, like we know what Darius Slayton is. So yeah, I could be talked into Burks being the pickup of the week.
Because I think the volume, there's not much volume in this passing offense, but I think it's clear where the volume needs to go. And will probably go. I mean, Robert Woods is at a whole season to like carve any role. Yeah. And he just cannot do it.
So, right. And this is what we had with AJ Brown when he was a Titan, is that the team operated in the same fashion. It was Derrick Henry all day. It was, we're not going to pass unless we absolutely have to, but he got a big enough piece of the pie that it counteracted that. And so 35% target share was enough for him, to be a really good fantasy option. I don't think Treylon Burks is going to step into a 35% target share, but you don't need that from him because he's going to be, your wide receiver 4 if you're in a league that starts 4 receivers.
I would probably just slightly prefer him to Darius Slayton, just because whereas he's a first-round pick in ascendance, Darius Slayton is a guy, it seems like over and over and over again they find excuses not to use him. Maybe they're finally out of excuses.
Yes, right. I have to say though, the Giants and Titans are both. Yeah, the Giants are 4th, have the 4th lowest pass rate over expected. The Titans have the 5th lowest. So they both definitely want to establish it, but I could be talked into Burks. Yeah.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.